Our significance claims for why animal testing should be banned were: first, that there is unnecessary mistreatment of animals; second, that traditional forms of animal testing are outdated; and finally, that alternative forms of animal testing are more advanced and efficient than old methods. The negative response on unnecessary mistreatment of animals was that animals are only exposed to conditions that are approved by the FDA. However, the Federal Drug Administration does not provide guidelines for all aspects of animal testing, for example, in cosmetics. According to the FDA homepage titled Product Testing, the FDA does not have the legal authority to approve cosmetics products, only color additives, but not the actual ingredients. The FDA simply states that they do not have a list of tests required for ingredients in cosmetics in general. Due to this lack of oversight, there are no guidelines by the FDA to how the animals are treated, therefore leaving them susceptible to unnecessary abuse. Next, the negative response to animal testing methods being outdated was that animal testing is just as advanced as modern medicine. This only amplified and supported our original claim that because of these advancements, modern medicine is already using alternatives to animal testing today. One example is research done by Hadidar Archana in collaboration for the International Journal of Pharmacy and Life Sciences in 2016, where models are made of human cells and tissues, virtual drug trials, stem cell and genetic testing methods, and microdosing. Again, microdosing is groundbreaking because it is the process where humans are given low quality quantities of a drug to see how they're affected on a cellular level, so it's not completely affecting the whole body system. Finally, our opponents countered our solvency claim that alternative methods are only effective when testing a small cultivation of cells, and that it is impossible to replicate an entire organ system. On the contrary, Rachel Hajar wrote for the official journal of the Gulf Heart Association journal titled Alternative to Animal Testing about Mrs. Einstein. Mrs. Einstein is a full-scale model made of glass that can be filled with fluids to mimic blood flow. This studies the whole system without using animals. Mrs. Einstein has all the major arteries represented in her, and she provides an excellent testing piece for science and for medicine. In Kim Masters-Evans' article titled Research Animals, published in 2011, she cites Jeremy Bentham, who is a British philosopher and a political scientist in the 17th century, who, like a good philosopher, asked a thought-provoking question, which is the following. The question is not, can they reason, nor can they talk, but can they suffer? Adding on to our significance claim that animal testing leads to unnecessary mistreatment of the animals, there is only one federal law that regulates animal testing, which is the Animal Welfare Act. It was signed into action in 1966. The Animal Welfare Act raises more concerns than anything. According to a 2014 article titled How Should Medical Testing on Humans and Animals Be Regulated by Noel Marino for the Greenhaven Press, the Animal Welfare Act does not apply to research involving animals, all animals. In fact, it excludes the biggest portion of animals being tested on, like our opponent said, which is rats and mice. This is a big portion of animals being tested on being left out from regulations and guidelines on cruelty and safety regarding them. Furthermore, Archana Padamar also collaborated in 2016 for the academic journal titled 3D Printing Technology and Alternative to Animal Testing for the International Journal of Pharmacy and Life Sciences, which states that each year, more than 100 million animals are killed for animal testing. This includes mice, rats, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, monkeys, fish, and birds. In her article, Padidar illustrated how these creatures are killed. Some of them are forced to inhale toxic fumes, others are immobilized in restraints, some have holes drilled into their skulls, others have their skin burned off or their spines crushed. Padidar observed that these animals are confined alone in their cages, isolated, which leads to them being psychologically traumatized. Continuing our inherency claim that animal testing is outdated, one vital point to make is that animals and humans are not complementary. In 2017, Hartung wrote a report titled Opinion versus Evidence for the Need to Move Away from Animal Testing for the current neurology and neuroscience reports that current animal testing does not reflect human diversity, exposure, and treatment. We differ from mice from our weights, lifestyle, genetics, and history of diseases. Due to this, animal testing makes it hard to predict solid effects on treatments, especially if there are different stages with other treatments and other internal issues. Furthering our solvency claim that alternatives to animal testing are more effective is a report for the Wyss Institute, which collaborates with Harvard College. Just this month that happened in November 2018, it showed that clinical studies take years to complete and that testing is a single compound can cost more than $2 billion. This report also shows that while money and time is being wasted, so are innumerable animal lives, which since traditional animal models do not accurately mimic human diseases. Because of these examples and current academic reports, the banning of animal testing and advocating for alternative methods is long overdue.